Hi guys, welcome back to Ashley's Homestead Adventures. How are you guys doing today? I hope you are doing as well can be. Today we are expecting more storms to come through. Yesterday's storms brought 0.3 inches of rain, and today's storms are expected to bring 2.6 inches of rain. And it says, but they're going to hold off till the afternoon, but we've got pretty breezy conditions. And the first thing that I need to do this morning is get everybody fed up, and I also need to make a run down to my local feed store and pick up some ingredients to make chicken food. So those are my first two tasks: get everybody fed and make a batch of chicken food for the chicks. And I also wanted to just reiterate before people worry about my chickens. I did say on my previous video what I was feeding them, and it was a very small amount. And I just want you guys to know I am working up to the normal amount of food. We just had a crop problem, and so therefore I am feeding them little bits at a time and increasing their food slowly as to not agitate the crops on these baby chicks. So just to clarify, I'm not starving my chickens. I am working them up to their normal ration that they're supposed to get, which is actually 4 pounds. So we're working our way up on a daily schedule to that, and just watching their crops and making sure that they're not gorging themselves to the point to where their crops can't hold it. So without further ado, let's jump into what we got to do today and see what we can get done again today before the rain comes. Okay, it's getting windy out here. Woo! All right, I ran to the feed store and voila, it is time to make chicken food today. So this is black oil sunflower seeds, and they call them corn chops here in the south. In the northwest we call it cracked corn, but it's cracked corn chops, whatever you want to call it. It's just smaller pieces of corn. Okay, this is where it all ended up, and I have an empty trash can here, and I've got a lid, says chicken feed on it, and we're gonna make some chicken feed. Okay, and for those of you that want to know, I'll just go through this real quick. This is my homemade chicken feed. I am still missing a few ingredients that I would like to have, but this is a balanced, good diet for my chickens. I've been making my own chicken feed for, this will be my 5th year, and my chickens in Oregon did fantastic on this. And as you guys know, supply and demand is tough, and of course a lot of the things that we could get there we can't get here, and a lot of things they have here that we didn't have access to there. So, you know, when you move across the country, the dynamics change a little bit, and you've just got to be willing to do the research and willing to adjust your formula according to where you're at and what your birds need and what you can get your hands on. So just a quick rundown of the recipe for this particular batch. I use a grain scoop. These are made in the USA, Little Giant grain scoops. I use these for all of my feed. I love them, and that is how I measure for these feeds. Some people will get so technical as to weigh, and I do weigh what I feed now, but I don't weigh when I'm mixing because I know that this mixture works. So Basically, it is 3 scoops of cracked corn or corn chops. It's just broken up pieces of corn. 3 scoops of whole wheat. Sometimes you can get white, sometimes you can get red. I have not found a huge difference. I believe that there's like a 2% protein difference in the feeds, red having more, I think, but do your own research. This is white wheat. So 3 scoops of corn, 3 scoops of wheat, 1 scoop of crimped oats, 1 scoop of soybean meal, 1 scoop of black oil sunflower seeds, and then of course they will get their bugs every day along with their mineral supplements and apple cider vinegar in their water. So that is what I'm feeding, and you guys get to see my chickens every day, so you'll be able to see how they do on this. This will be the first day that they get this, and for the time that they're in their juvenile stage, they are going to be getting 50% of their chick starter and 50% of this until their bodies transition and get used to eating this and they get a little bigger. But I do introduce it to them at 6 weeks old when they go outside. Okay, well, I'd say that they like it. They are all looking really good. I'm, checking everybody's fruits, and they say to check them in the morning before you feed them and make sure that you're not dealing with impacted crops. Sorry, I say it wrong all the time. And it does not appear that anybody is having any trouble with that. So they got increased to 2 pounds today, and we'll continue to increase it slowly until they get to their normal daily ration. And they got bugs too that I scattered out. Not sure if you can see any of them, but I scattered out bugs for them to peck and scratch for some extra protein. Okay, so I apologize for the wind and the audio, which is also why I'm doing this kind of in short bursts today. But this is the project of the day that I already got started on, but that we're going to work on. First of all, check out my pansies that are coming back. I've got my trusty weed or leaf blower here. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to start establishing the blueberry and blackberry patch. So what I've done, as you can see, is I have gone along the fence line all the way up and all the way across with a weedy whacker, and I've knocked it back as short as I possibly could. Now I'm going to take the leaf blower and I'm going to blow everything to that corner right there, which will make it easy for me to pick up. When the wind's blowing, it's really hard to pick these leaves up. So that'll make it easy for me to pick up and get that to the compost pile. And then we'll move on from there. Okay, change of plans, because the wind with the storm coming in is actually blowing the other way today. So I already got that side all blown away from the bed, and basically I'm just establishing a 2-foot bed on the fence line, and then this corner here will become something. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to become, but I will cut the corner, with all of my equipment. So this corner that I'm standing in right now, basically from that corner post, or not corner post, but that post next to the gate on the right hand side of the gate, to probably this corner will be a bed of some form. I'm not sure what kind of bed, flower or food, but I will establish a bed there as well in the future. But for now, I'm just establishing a 2-foot bed along the fence line for the blackberries, raspberries, and blueberries. So on with the work, going the opposite direction that we usually do. Usually the wind blows at us from rumor to me, but storm front coming in, it's going the other way. There, all done. Now we will put this tool away and go grab our pruners and get the blackberries and blueberries pruned way down and ready to get in the ground. Okay, here they are on my porch. Got my trusty pruners here. And what we have are, these are native thornless blackberries. And for blueberries, we have Brightwell, Climax, Premier, and another Climax. So I'm going to get these guys pruned up in their pre-planting prune, and also what I've got here is I've got we planted these together, but I've got the prolific kiwi, hardy kiwi, that is looking pretty dang good, I would say. This is the wonderful pomegranate that I didn't think was alive, and I still don't think it's alive. Chicago fig is alive, so we are going to keep babying that one along. And we have, this is actually a fig that we thought had died. As you can see, snapping off, and so we actually replanted another tree in its place. But when we ripped it out of the ground and I went to go throw it away, I noticed that the root system actually looked good and it was pushing new growth. So I went ahead and potted it up in hopes that maybe it will push new growth. So I'm going to prune it back too today. So it looks like we've got the red raspberries and jumbo thornless blackberries also to go in. So I'm going to get to pruning and get them set out and show you where they're going to go. Okay, so we've got them all pruned down to 6 or 8 inches above the soil, and it looks like we're going to have Climax, a Premier, a Brightwell, and then another Climax. These are blueberries. This is where they'll go. And then over there along the fence line, we have the blackberries and the raspberries. So I'm going to go get some dirt and a shovel and get to getting these guys in the ground. Okay, and just so you know what I am planting these guys with, I am adding Hollytone and soil acidifier, both made by Espoma. No, I am not sponsored by them. I just like their products. They've worked really well. And then of course we have our compost in the bucket and a shovel. All right, we got it done just in time. You can see the storm coming over the mountains over there. So yippee skippy, we got her done. And here she is. This is what we got done today. So this bed will eventually, you know, continue down and be the whole corner and then all the way down the other side, about this wide. I'm not super particular about measuring out beds and all of that. And the way that I did this was no till. So I just laid cardboard down, and because I don't have chips are hard to resource in my area with chips, I went ahead and just used topsoil. So there's a double layer of cardboard down and then topsoil, and of course you can see the blueberries there are hilled in compost, which is what the professionals told me to do. And so I didn't get the whole thing completed, but we got a good start here. Looks nice. And then over here, I got all the 2 blackberries and the 2 raspberries are in, and they're just planted in, you know, compost. So just wee little guys. We'll see what they do. Just wee little guys. So also take you guys over here and show you these beauties. I'm opening up. Seriously? I'm gonna have to dig all these up. Go on, please. Lord, have mercy on you. 8-month-old Labrador. I don't know exactly what these are, but they're gonna get dug up and moved somewhere else because they're in the middle of my garden. So there's that project done. That feels so good. You can tell my glasses are getting all sprinkled from the rain that's coming in. So it feels good to get that project done. The blueberries, the blackberries, and the raspberries are in the ground. That is a big deal. That's been on my task list for months. So on to the next project. And that one's not any fun. You guys don't want to come with me for that one. That one involves a lot of paperwork. So I will leave you guys out of that one. And I hope you had a beautiful day. And I will catch you on the next one. Yours truly.